Stadia's September games are looking good, especially with a major title coming from EA. Plus, we'll take a usual guess of our surprise drops later in the video. Today's video was also researched with the help of StadiaDosage.com. A link will be down below to that awesome website. Let's start with a quick look at September's pro games, starting with Overcooked All You Can Eat. And by now, you guys have probably heard me rave about this game a dozen times. It's a co-op based title about cooking up dishes, working together in a big frenzy. I love this game's really simple controller layout, as anyone can pick this up and play, including even non-gamers. And honestly, it's in my top 5 favorite couch co-op games of all time. If you haven't dived into this one, absolutely do so. Another title joining this September is Spiritfarer. It's a story-rich management game as you play a fairy master who helps guide spirits into the afterlife. This is one of the better newer indie titles to have released on Stadia, and it's one of those that's absolutely worth spending some time on. I've really enjoyed my time with this game. Joining this September as well is yet another racer to the pro titles in Tri 6 Infinite. This is a futuristic racer with 3 different vehicles, power-ups, and features a 4-player split screen. Gameplay of this title does catch my attention a bit and could be potentially a pretty good one. And then finally we have PJ Masks Heroes of the Night, where here you play as several superheroes on a mission to stop some pretty bad super evil villains. You'll be using their unique superpowers to battle them all, and also use them to explore and manage the environment. All these games are now available via the Stadia Pro Store. Make sure you guys claim them for the month of September. With that, guys, let's take a look at some releases for this upcoming September. We'll just do this in the order of release dates, starting with Dragon Legends of the Nine Realms. This is a brand new title from the franchise, and here you play as Thunder or his dragon buddies, all of them with different skills and powers, and you can pretty much swap between them at any point. It's a bit of a top-down adventure where you control the various dragons using their abilities, but also you'll be solving puzzles, you'll be finding collectibles, and of course you'll be battling it out to save the kingdom. This one is set to arrive on Stadia on September 23rd. Now, the game From Space is the sequel to It Came From Space and Ate Our Brains, and thank goodness they leveled up the name of the series, and it brings that familiar gameplay, but all of it in general really just seems like a step up from the first game, from the visuals that just pop out more, the gameplay to me, even just the animations, and with the top-down action looking as good as it ever has. You can play this game completely solo or with up to 3 other buddies. You can play from a wide range of characters with their own unique abilities and weapons, and of course you'll be taking out loads of alien hordes. From Space is set to hit Stadia on September 29th. Alright, and now that brings us to the biggest Stadia game of the month and one of the bigger titles of the year in FIFA 23. And out of the jump this year, it's bringing in quite a few notable changes, but the biggest one has to be finally crossplay will be fully available for Stadia, and that's something that I have to say I'm extremely hyped to see. Also, this year they're bringing in the Women's Club Football. It'll be making its debut. Now, as far as gameplay, there's going to be a new power shot that's being added to the game, and you have to maneuver hitting your gamepad at the right moment by hitting the 2 bumper button and then the shot button at the same time. As far as visuals, the game will be largely unchanged from last year's FIFA on Stadia, but this year we are seeing the advancement of hyper motion technology too, which is promising to improve upon last year's next-gen animations even further. Overall though, there isn't really a whole lot new changes and differences. Career mode will still be available. Being able to play as the manager and run your own team will also be a thing. You'll have the FUT mode, and really there's a lot of stuff to really sink your teeth into. If you guys are interested in pre-ordering, the Ultimate Edition does give you 3 days early access, so you'll be able to play on the 27th, but otherwise FIFA 23 releases this September 30th. Our next game is Paw Patrol Grand Prix, and this is similar as a Mario Kart racer type of game, only you get to play as your favorite pup from Paw Patrol. The game does feature 11 tracks, a multiplayer championship mode, and 4-player split screen. If you guys have a fan of Paw Patrol in the house, this could be an absolute blast for some really wholesome fun. Paw Patrol hits Stadia on September 30th. Now, this game here doesn't have a specific date for September, but we should see the debut of Combinera on Stadia. The multiple colored ball puzzle platformer has you avoiding obstacles and combining all the balls to complete every level. It's an interesting concept, one that I have to say I've never seen before. It has also released on other platforms, so you should be seeing this one at around $14.99, but either way, we'll keep an eye out, and this will probably be a stealth drop at some point. With that, usually every month brings some really big surprises for Stadia, but I admit, guys, it's tougher and tougher to guess what we're gonna see drop. But I'm gonna give this a shot either way, and I think one game that I just want to really see this myself, and so I'm hoping for it. But I'm hoping we see an announcement of Soccer Story. This is the RPG soccer game where it's really just all about story. Really reminded me a lot of the old school like Mario Tennis game, so I'm excited for this one, and I do hope we get to see this as a stealth drop. Then another game here in Death Carnival. My goodness, I feel this is like set to come any month now, and I'm really shocked we haven't seen it yet. I really think this one's close. Then we have Fire Commander. This is another one that I'm just anticipating that this will come any day now for Stadia. And then we still have the infamous and the remaining Ubisoft title confirmed a while ago in Far Cry 4. That still hasn't dropped yet, but it honestly could be any day now. With that, if you guys want a list of the top upcoming games for Stadia, make sure you click the video on the screen.